Welcome everyone. You're listening
to about to come in right
Calling the Audible. This is the voice of Mokan.
This is a mess
not the
already.
voice
That was
of,
not Mokan's voice.
Mokan. Welcome back here to Calling Audible.
Mokan.
It is
You know,
now
right?
the Div 5 and 5B podcast, of course, in the South Shore.
Well, do you want to use my voice for
St. Leonard?
Valentine's Day?
We're not on the South Shore.
South Shore of St. Leonard.
There's no shore in St. Leonard.
There is. Is there a shore up north?
Mokan,
Yeah, but that's not St. Leonard.
Mokan, do you live in Côte Saint Luc, right?
Whatever, man.
Jump in front of a train, please.
Are
Do
guys
you
still
want-
You know what's
surprised
funny,
that
Simone?
geography
I
is not his
literally
strong
have-
suit?
The CP rail goes to my backyard.
Yes, I know. You're living in Côte Saint Luc, so you know what to do now.
Anyway, welcome to the 5A and 5B podcast as we dive into the week that was and present you the week that is as we get ready for quite the fascinating look of FPF. GM Clarathis to my far right.
Hi, Kate. I see you're watching.
Hi, Kate.
Our female demographics has gone up by one.
It used to be one. Now it's two. Your mom, Kate.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We've transitioned now to the next female on the list
Yeah.
here. To my far left, it is none other than Peeze and of
Hi.
course Simone Dagenet.
What's up? Go Dems. But Mo, do something.
I am. I'm just looking at you because your nose is touching the microphone. What's wrong with you?
It's an audio medium for the most part. Guys.
I know, but I'm looking at Simone. He's like this. His nose is touching the microphone. Like, what's wrong with this kid? Anyway,
Well, what's wrong with you?
that's wrong with me. All right, let's
There
dive
you
into it though. 5B. All right, Eagle.
Hi, Eagle.
This show is produced by Eagle.
Eagle. I forgot about it.
Good to see you, Eagle.
And if you want to reach the show live, of course, you can tweet GM at GMCole44. Or if you're watching on Facebook Live, you know that you can comment directly on Facebook.
Eagle will read it out for us, or Jim, or both of us. Hi,
Hi,
Kate.
Kate.
Hi, Kate.
That's how you do it, guys. Just comment.
As I mentioned, if you write into this show, we will read it.
No matter what it says.
No, don't say
So you
that.
can swear as much as you want. I'll read it. I don't care.
But you can't. You don't have it. Jim's gonna have to do it.
Okay, fine. Yes.
It's good.
I like it more. We'll get Mo to read it to his mom.
So
Yeah.
Div 5.
Mom, please. Mom does not use email properly on an iPad, let alone use.
No, we'll call
Mo.
her and you'll read the.
Mo, you'll call your mom and you'll tell her you have something to say.
Let's talk
Can
about
we make that a segment? Calling Mo's mom.
Oh wow, that would be
We
great.
could.
What time should she go to bed?
now? Actually,
Nice.
There you
We'll call her
go.
in half an hour.
No, it's in Div
early
6.
sleeper, early riser.
New segment in Div 6.
Climb
like
Mo's
Mama
mom.
Khan.
Let's talk about 5A. The week that was in 5A. Gentlemen, what caught your attention, Simone?
Actually, a lot of things. Eagles boy, Tom Gatehouse doing well. That's ever since the
Look at
spring
Eagles
season.
What caught your attention, Simon? You go right to the first thing on the script. Like,
Really?
no effort
Well, sorry if it
whatsoever.
caught my attention.
When it comes attention is the script that he received today.
Well, I actually sent that yesterday.
I didn't see it till today.
Yeah.
I didn't see. It could have been two things, Jim. But thank you for
My pleasure.
being that guy.
You're welcome.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. I noticed Smoking Axles 2-0.
That's good for them.
Well, that's their
it's
normal MO, though, right?
That's
They're a pretty decent regular season team here, but how
I
impressive.
love how you
is
say
it?
that, but only one team wins a championship, right? So
No, but they've always been a pretty sound regular season team, though.
No, they've had some very up and down seasons.
and they've had seasons where they've made the finals.
Yeah, and they won.
Yes, so they've also been a good playoff team.
So basically, Mocha, you know nothing.
No.
You just use the
You're
same
Jon
words
Snow
for
right now,
every
man.
single team. But they're very good in the regular season. It's just,
I saw Mavericks actually upsetting Mud Dogs. That was an upset for me.
That's a big
Um,
upset.
I like Mud Dogs are not as strong as they have been in past seasons.
No, they're
but,
weakened for sure.
But I thought Mavericks were.
And the only difference
the
is the
worst
quarterback, right? For
Well,
Mud Dogs, like the
That's a
team.
big difference.
I know, but the team's the same. Like we were talking earlier, saying how is quarterback really that important if you have athletes around you? And listen, Mud Dogs, Mokan,
Yeah, Marc-Antoine Jeté.
they have a solid quarter.
Okay game. Just
He's okay, but he's not great.
yeah. If you score 3 touchdowns, you can't expect to win necessarily.
You're not supposed to.
Longhorns looking
James.
pretty good right now.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, Texas
Longhorns.
Bearmans looking like they're really bare of talent on that roster. It wasn't good. It wasn't pretty at all. But you can see, and look, you guys have all played with John Moody in various leagues outside of the FPF world. But it's early, but he's locked in right now.
I've had some great games against John Moody back in the day.
I'm sure you have.
Pease, you were there.
Yeah, that
But
was a good game.
Eagle was there also. That was a good time.
But the fact that he has
That was
Rob
a fun
Allen
game.
there, Rosen there, Haley, these guys all understand the chemistry fairly well with him, that it wasn't much of a contest against the Bearmans. And I think for Texas Bearmans, I know they dropped down considerably from where they were last spring to where they are now. But at this point of the year, it makes you realize how far ahead a team like the Longhorns are with the Bearmans, who are younger, athletically gifted, but cannot be an older but much more cohesive unit in the Longhorns.
the
GM.
thing, Go ahead, Jim.
And we had mentioned before that this used to be the undoing of the Longhorns, that the Longhorns would be great in matchups up until they found that team that would be very quick, young, athletic, that would just drive the field, take short catches and get those yards after completion, have a quarterback who rolled out. But they've brought in some younger talent. Adam Rosen, who's Chris Rosen's son, Francis Haley as a rusher. There's a lot more depth on this team than we've ever seen before. And that's already considering how good the Longhorns have been in this league throughout the years. Rob Allen, I think this is finally the season where everyone will know who Rob Allen was, because it's been a crime up until this point that not a lot of people did in FPF specifically.
You know what I saw this week is
Yes.
that the longer GM works with us, the less he knows how to use a microphone.
So you're over there,
Yes.
and I'm trying to make eye contact with you while speaking.
But
Correct.
you don't have to.
You don't have to. Though.
That's fair.
We can hear you in headphones. But I
Don't
strongly
look at the camera.
I strongly disagree with Jim's statement saying that Longhorns need to be matchup relevant.
They
I feel
used to be, is
Yes.
what I said.
when
He
they
was not
when
listening.
they didn't have Rob Allen permanently. That John Moody is the kind of quarterback that's better when he has stronger weapons around him, because he tends to float it up a little bit. He tends to take shots. And when you have a guy like Rob Allen in the team, if you go up, like Rob Allen will win these jump balls 99% of the time. There's only a handful of players
so
that
he
could go.
won't win 99% of the time, but he'll win a good portion of them. Nobody wins 99% of the time.
Yes,
No.
yes.
All
Have you
right.
seen? You've played against
I
them.
have.
Okay, but hold on, you're saying
We
that
were 4
out-
on
out
him
of-
and he still
out of
caught the
100
ball.
Hold on.
So why doesn't he just throw every pass
Out
as
of
a
a-
jump ball
yeah,
to
yeah.
Rob Allen?
Because it's boring.
out of 100 jump balls, he'll win 99%.
Yes.
So
So
he'll miss one.
Yes,
in 100 games, in 10 games, if he throws 100 jump balls,
yes,
He's
Rob
just
Allen will have 99
99
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
yes.
Okay, turn off his mic, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Peeze.
I will say he's great at jump balls. One I've even heard someone say.
So 99% of the time.
I've heard someone say he wins 99% of them. But no, honestly, Rob Allen is like GM said, criminally unknown in this league.
Yep.
Um,
He's what, 6'5", 6'6".
He looks like Rob Campana from afar sometimes.
he does.
Alex Holloway said he
Yeah.
looks like Steve Nash,
No, Campana's more.
the actor or the
the
basketball
basketball
player,
player.
Right, but taller than Steve Nash.
Here you go. Make it out. Thank you.
I didn't know. I didn't see the Rob Campana thing till just now. But definitely, again, it helps to have him with. To Simo's credit, the one thing he said that did make sense,
Everything.
with John Moody's play style, it's definitely beneficial to have a guy who can go up and get the ball. I saw 10 guys, 1 cup beating Dope Boys, and again,
What's wrong,
again,
Dope Boys?
guys, the name's not clever. It's terrible. Just call yourselves like poop
Putting
in a cup. It's already better.
Poop in a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think FPF would clear that.
Yeah, but no, Rob's going to censor that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should start censoring these because they're dumb.
We had the best.
What's wrong with
names.
Dope Boys?
Well, so I already I have it in my
only have
notes.
one
Do you
guy.
want to get to it now or do you want to get to it now or later?
What notes?
Oh,
What are you
wait.
talking-
We'll talk about
'Cause-
10
'cause
cups
it-
for one
'cause
guy.
No, but I'm saying because Dope Boys, like we have them in my notes. Like,
I
do you
know.
want to get
We'll
to it
talk
later?
about Dope Boys
Okay.
afterwards.
But we had such a
10 guys,
sweet
1 cup, though.
transition.
Impressive.
I know. I'm just curious. Well, Matthew Yanakoulis is a guy who's been good for a while in FPF, starting Division 6. He's a guy who was excited to see as he gets as he moves up through divisions. Justin Lerner is, if he's not well known already in FPF circles, he will be soon.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Definitely a team with a lot of talent.
Eagle was there, yakking away his lungs. By the way, he was
Yeah.
sick beyond belief. Los Avocados hammering lockdown 40-19.
Well, first of all,
40-18,
lockdown's
pardon.
terrible.
They all live here, by the way.
Do they really?
Yeah. No, not here.
We're
That's the
not
other
here,
house.
here,
My
but-
mistake.
Eagle, I
streets
know
away.
you don't have a mic, but what happened with you guys?
We didn't have a quarterback, so
Wait,
that
you guys
didn't
don't have a
help.
quarterback period anyway.
Who played
Don't-
quarterback?
Ryan's in there.
Who played quarterback?
We had Maxime Chateauneuf filling in for Pat Riot.
Why wasn't it you?
No, that's a terrible idea. And we had to get Chris and Alexandre Riviere to sub for us. Thanks again, guys. It was just
Yeah,
one
they
of
made a
those
huge
times.
difference for you guys.
11 o'clock, Brossard, Saturday night. We
Ugh.
had guys from
Rough.
Deep Laval. They're like, I'm not driving that.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Brossard is terrible.
I mean, there's this thing. It's called like the weather and being a human being. And when Mokan tells you the traffic,
He didn't, though.
he
I would have stayed home.
People didn't.
I almost went
Yeah.
back home.
I actually almost took my car on Saturday because Mo didn't tell me the roads were terrible.
I did. If you look at my post net, whatever it was up there. Be
Sure.
careful, drive to Brossard.
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
And on
Mo,
last
it needs
Saturday.
to be
Every day,
the
Mo.
day.
Okay, you know,
Every day.
Every
just
hour
send
on
me
the
a
hour.
message.
Every day. Up to the minute. Get an app.
Just send
Mocon
690.
traffic app. We'll do it for
I
sure.
download it.
I-
99 cents, I do it.
we can make that happen. You go. You could code that.
Yeah, we've done apps here, have we not?
No, we haven't. Not yet.
No, we have not.
Yeah.
We've made apps, but they don't work.
6 years in the making here for that app. Yeah, yeah.
You've said that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You've said, let's see it on Monday
Yeah,
1,000
see you
times.
Monday, my
I've heard that
ass.
before.
Yeah.
5B. I saw Mogadishu Pirates beat Speakeasy.
Let's speak easy.
31-31. Our boy Joe K, another strong game. I think he's starting to become a really good quarterback in the lower divisions.
What do you mean starting to become?
Well, like we
You won a
saw him
championship.
with PB and J when he won, right? He was starting to develop himself, but now you look at him at this point, he's starting to read
Was
the
he the
field.
quarterback on that team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He also won a championship in his first ever FF.
Yeah,
season, no?
like he just
That
reading
one.
the field so much
That's the
better now.
season.
He
There you
looks
go.
relaxed out there. He knows when to bail out of
That
the
was-
pocket. He went 18 for 26. He's got a good core of receivers.
And an
I-
impressive jawline.
Yeah, exactly. But I think
Good
for
sense of
them,
humor too.
Commanding.
Great sense of humor. He knows he's like a Peeze in the sense of humor department.
No, he's a better piece.
but
Everyone's a better
He's
piece.
better looking.
I really think the
Pew, pew,
Pirates
pew,
right now
What?
they look pretty good, and if they
Pirates.
can continue to go in that direction, I don't want to face them as we move towards the end of March into April.
I like the core of the Pirates. I feel like they have some good pieces. They have guys like Vincent Richard plays higher divisions. It's gonna help him. He's being, I wouldn't say coached, but he's learning from other guys that played higher division. Yes, Sebastien Simon is Division 3 team. There's a lot there you can learn from. And I feel like that's something that's going to resonate in the Pirates as they learn a few things. Oh, we should do coverage this way. We should do this way.
Mhm.
And that's why they're going to be much better. It's because they're learning from all these guys left and right. And playing all these games is giving them enough experience that they might be one of those sneaky good team later in the season.
I saw Super Saiyans.
Look how happy he is.
I saw Super Saiyans proving that I was right about Fun Boys and Scott Moranowitz.
Which
So-
is
That he's not that good, and that a team that will adapt and adjust on defense will take advantage of his play calling, and that's
No
what we
passing
saw.
TDs.
No, exactly, no passing TDs in this game, and we saw Jordan Lard not lose his temper completely, but just be mad enough to win the game.
Blue team 38-20 over TDs and Beer. Avery Lawler's first game back as the quarterback of the team, and maybe rest. I don't know. 104 passing, 14-20. Alex Lurie had a really good game, clutch in the second half. 4 TDs, 1 INT. I look at blue team and a decent team. I think they can definitely be a hard out coming out here, but I think for Avery Lawler, physically he looks like he's gotten bigger. Obviously, him growing into his own body right now, but the tools are all there. They should be much better than what they are. Only put up 20 points in which they scored so little in the first half. You wonder, moving ahead here in the second half of the season towards that point, will he descend or will he ascend up towards the ranks?
I think I said in the first podcast that I think this is the season where we see a marked improvement. What I see when I see Vilala is a tackle quarterback. He does not throw balls that would put his receiver in harm's way. And you can do that in flag football. In fact, some of the most rewarding routes in flag football are the routes
Yep.
where you would never throw in tackle football. And especially in I'm giving a lot away here, but when you play defensively against him and you undercut routes, he overthrows it for the safety of his player that you don't necessarily need to do. And there's ways to defend him that it's just in his brain and in his coding
Well,
to
knowing
not
that-
throw certain passes or to throw certain passes in a way where guys in FPF are not used to running routes and catching the ball that way. So I think at this point, with the help of Brad Evans and guys on his team who have a lot of FPF experience, he's going to learn. And once he learns,
His
he's
dad.
going to be an incredible FPF quarterback.
His dad.
Well, no, because I would say more so the guys on his team than Tony Lala, because again, Tony comes from a very different era in FPF, and
It's true.
where things
That's
that
fair.
are still dominant, let's say in Division 1 and so on, that are hard to execute in the lower divisions because the guys you're playing with aren't as good.
But you know what? The big
fair.
knock on, I love Tony Lala. He's a great guy, a good FPF guy. If you need a sub, he'll come in, no problem, right? But the biggest
Super nice person too.
great person. But the biggest question mark I had about him, I'll take a
We're on a,
cooler afterwards.
we're on a
please.
show, dude.
Yeah,
you can do this on
I'll
break.
grab from a mom afterwards.
That's why we have breaks.
Yeah.
You don't have to put a donut in my face.
That's the only
The
reason we have
biggest
breaks.
knock on that partnership of obviously Tony being the father, Avery being the son.
That's the partnership, correct?
in a football
Not by
world,
choice.
Mo's not very good with
was
partners.
that Avery would look towards the stands for the play call from Tony, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that kind of really hurt the symmetry and his confidence level. That,
Symmetry?
okay, I gotta look at him. Was he happy?
How
about
does it hurt the symmetry?
Because
Did his make the
uh,
placement
his-
of his eyes a different places
No,
of
no,
his
but
face?
Triangle is different.
But looking at towards his dad and towards his teammates, saying, "Here's a play, let's
That's
go."
not
He
symmetry.
looks towards his dad and he's got to turn around and tell the play. Like, keep
That's
your
not
focus in
symmetry.
on the huddle.
But okay, so Avery, it's his second season in FPF. So like he used to play in FPF Junior. It's a bit of a different atmosphere. Now FPF as it is, the gloves are off. Avery's not playing well enough. It's simple. He's a very good quarterback. He's talented, but his play call. He doesn't like to take risk. He doesn't like. He's too focused on tackles. Don't turn the ball over. Don't take shots. FPF is different. If you turn the ball over, you're gonna get the ball back at some point. Tackle football is a bit different. Like.
It's a long field. It takes time for teams.
Take
to
shots,
Yeah.
take risks. Stop being too careful with the football because you're not throwing any touchdowns. You're not scoring points. If you can't put up points, you're not gonna win games.
All right, talking about resurgence of quarterbacks. Tom Gatehouse in 5A.
Gate.
I believe it's pronounced Gati House.
Yeah,
Gati House.
Gati
Gati
House.
House.
That's amazing.
the Red Rocket. Why the sudden success?
The Red
for,
Rocket, the Red BB gun, maybe.
Yeah. Why the?
Can someone
sudden,
explain to Mo off camera what Red Rocket means?
Or Annie Dalton, man? They call Annie Dalton the Red Rocket, man.
Looking at me.
Hey, can you put the camera on Jim, please, to see how ready he is, Eagle? Thank you.
Just put the camera back
Thank
on
you.
Mokan to see he doesn't know
Not
what
as
to do
red
now.
as the rocket you keep talking.
Okay, why the sudden success? Is it because he got away from Eagle and now it's fine?
No, he had Eagle last season and he made the All-Star game.
Yeah, but
He was an All-Star in spring season.
they won
Stop.
8-6 one game.
Okay,
2
but
years ago.
there was great times. They did win though. No, but stop looking at the past and say, "Oh, you know what, Tom Gatehouse."
Yeah, like,
is
it's ridiculous
terrible."
to think guys won't get better. Right?
He is
I mean-
much better. He still makes mistakes.
Is he the
He's
modern
not-
day Blake Bortles? Is that what he is?
Oh, so this is the first time through the show that Mokan will ask us if someone is the modern day something. Do you get no sleep this week? Are you right? Did you just put the script together like on the
Mokan-
toilet this morning?
No.
Mokan,
No?
so you're comparing Tom Gatehouse to an NFL quarterback?
Yeah, and he's asking
Of course.
if this guy is the modern day version of a modern day quarterback who's
Of
playing
course.
this weekend.
No, but okay, I get your metaphor here. You're trying to say is like a game manager and he doesn't need to do much. There's no running backs in FPF. If there is, it's a bad scheme. Like Brocasian tried it a few times, it doesn't work. Don't compare him to Blake Bortles. He's different. He throws touchdowns.
Blake makes more money than Tom. You
Boy,
and
yes,
all
he
Maybe.
makes
I
money
don't
than
know.
more any of us combined.
combined.
He also played against brothers who always struggle early on in the season and goats. So let's relax a
Yes,
second too.
let's take a step back. But he had a great spring season, and there's no reason to think that he can't build up on
Well,
that.
look-
But he
look
makes
at his
the
winter year.
mistakes that he makes is when he feels that he's the guy who needs to go out and make a play.
when he needs to be a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, last winter, 20 TDs, 49 TDs, 47% passing completion. Spring 2016, 35.
Okay,
for,
but spring 2017. the
spring
most
2017
recent
yeah,
spring.
but I'm saying though,
He's
in the
getting
last,
there.
Yeah, I'm getting there. But I'm saying before his strong spring season, which he had great numbers.
Hmm?
Prior to that, though, he has thrown for at least 11 INTs or more in a season.
Well,
as
11's
high
not
as
bad.
29 in spring 2014.
So
here.
what Mo is saying is before he did well, he did poorly.
Yeah.
So before
Before learning, he wasn't
before
good.
improving, he was bad.
So I'm
was
just gonna
currently
go ahead and say it's
awful.
steroids. It's the only explanation.
Perhaps.
Tom Roydhouse.
Royd House. Go to the house, get some roids.
I like that. Tom Roydhouse.
But are you buying into his now development that he can become even better than what he is?
I consider him above the average now quarterback in this division.
Yeah, and if he doesn't take stupid chances when he doesn't have to, he'll have a very good season.
So far, he's been doing well.
Yep.
So far, we can only assume that. Hey, good job, Tom Gatehouse.
Pats on the back. No, I mean for Tom Gatehouse.
Oh, sorry.
Tom Roydhouse.
I thought it was like, hey, thanks for my jokes. You know?
No.
Why don't you give him a pat on the back,
For,
Peeze?
for Tom Roydhouse.
Like they got Dope Boys coming up, Mavericks, Half the Stars, Bobby's Boys.
That's a nice schedule.
It's a very nice
That's a
schedule.
nice
They can go
schedule.
6-0 by the time.
Let's
we
go,
hit
Tom
week 7.
Gatehouse. Roydhouse, sorry. I need to get used to this.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that.
He's gonna be upset at us.
I don't
boy.
care.
He's gonna be pissed at
We'll
us.
tell him Eagle told us to do it.
Yeah. Eagles is dealer.
Finessers, they are starting to become better.
It's Darren is dealer.
You look at their team: Karoof, Suresh, Bakalani. These guys are all played well. Great win for them over Voodoo on Sunday. But you look at Ryan Karoof and where he's at. He's a gunslinger, guys. Like he throws 85 mile per hour fastball.
Man, they come in hot.
Yeah, but like it could be like a 2-yard pass.
And he always throws it.
He like-
Oh yeah, 2 yard, 40 yard, doesn't care. Same ball.
Mokan hot take. Is Karoof FPF's version of Brett Favre?
Oh, Jeff George.
No,
As I
Jeff
told you,
George.
this script is
Favre.
the worst thing I've ever seen.
and you've had me before.
Yeah, it's bad. This is as bad as Mukan is.
But when you look at Karoof, though, at his point, though, of his development, is he the guy that you look at and see, like, you know what, he's got all the skill sets, but let's see if he can be more honed in his passing ability.
I think what it is that he hasn't always had guys other than the best Brazilian receiver of all time, Alexandre Bacalani.
Brazilian receiver.
Yeah.
Well, to
He's
be
Brazilian.
fair, there's only
I
a
know,
handful.
but
one.
really?
I mean, he's not Brazilian,
No.
but I've decided he's Brazilian.
Brazilian.
And
yes.
so Bacalani
Sorry, Baga.
Bacalani has been in the past one of the only guys who can hang on to his passes. And so
Well, Suresh too.
Well, but Suresh has been inconsistent and he's improved. And right now, the raw skills of Suresh are starting to get more refined. And with Bacalani, this is a good team. I spoke to Etienne Vaillancourt after the game. He's like, this team's too good to be in this division.
That's what
And
someone
I-
else said to me exactly.
And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, we've also seen Ryan Kroof really struggle. So I think they're in the right place. But I think that this team can be one of those teams who are now reaching a point where they can succeed.
And they will face a Ghost this week, which is a true test because
Oh, yeah.
both teams
Ghosts
2-0.
are
Actually, have
solid.
Longhorns, Ghosts, and Finessers both in the same division at 2-0.
That's amazing.
And they'll face Longhorns week 10 on
thing with-
March 10th.
The thing with Finesters and that whole group together, I remember scorekeeping them a few seasons ago, and like I think it was spring 2015. It was their first season, and I saw them play this one game, and I was like, these guys are really, really good. Like
The
they're-
first time I saw them play was in a scrimmage. And I was like, oh, what's this team? Like, I just saw Ryan Kroof. I'm like, this is a Division 2 team.
I saw them
This is a
in the
nice
game,
squad.
and it was like they registered in Division D just because they happened to be there, but these guys are going to demolish everybody.
And they did not.
Then I looked at their record, like, how are they? I was that their only win of the season. It's week 5. I couldn't get it, but at the same time, I could see it. There's when things work for them, it's good, but there's so many drop pass. There's so many moments where it just makes.
And
poor
I find Ryan
reads.
Kroof gets worse. He gets in his own head when he has drop balls.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, he
He-
doesn't play the
He
same.
dresses the part, though, of a college football QB.
Does he come in a suit?
Well, no, the sleeves,
Well,
like
it-
Marco.
that's the
yes, I
suit to
get it,
game
but
day.
Mokan's thinking no. So what's your reference here, Mokan?
Well, he looks like a football player from like Texas A&M. The sleeves, the headband, the cleats look good, feel good, my friend.
Yeah, he has cleats. That's impressive.
But their defense, but their defense is much better than in years past.
Ego,
Yes,
can-
that's
can
true.
you turn-
They look like
turn
they
his
are
mic
much
off,
better.
please?
We can't do the show without it.
Yeah, it's terrible, Mokan.
But look at the defense, though. They're
Yeah.
much better. Like they look like they're in better communication than what they were. They're attacking the ball with a great confidence.
I think
than
they're
before.
learning more. They know their play calling works now. They were using more like tackle plays. Now they learned that FPF, it's different. 2-yard hitches actually work well. You don't have to block and stuff, because that's one thing I noticed from them is they're used to tackle plays where if you catch the ball, somebody's hitting you right away, and that's not FPF. Like sometimes you catch the ball in open space and the guy misses you, and next thing you know, it's a first down and more.
Yeah.
Learn to embrace that. Learn to embrace that FPF is not tackle, and rule your playbook around it.
When you look at some other teams on the other side of the Richter scale, Dope Boys, Brothers, Warriors, Voodoo, all being 0-2, who's more surprised that they're 0-2 after the
Are
first
Dope
couple
Boys
weeks?
getting worse, or is FPF
getting
getting
better?
better?
What's
I
that?
think it's both. I
Okay.
think
Think they're
FPF is
actually
getting better, but
noticeable?
Doughboys, they're too much around Robbie Dejean. It's a one-man show, and it's not working for them.
I found they were better before they had Robbie Deschamps.
I would
Because he
agree with
didn't just force the ball to him.
that.
But
He's
you know
trying
what?
too much.
He's doing very well in Division 2.
Yeah,
right?
no,
So-
but it's not about him as a player. I'm
I
saying
know, but is it the system that maybe he doesn't fit what they need him to do?
no. I think essentially once teams see, oh well, he only throws there, they just they double up, go high low, and make it very difficult to.
Yep, it's simple. If you know he's going there 75% of the time,
So are they like kind of like the Rainmakers where everyone's surpassed them? They've been there for now 3-4 seasons or 4 years of FPF football.
no, I think there's still a chance for them to win, but they need to learn to distribute the ball better, trust other guys and just Robbie. Go back to what used to work for you guys. Stop trying to. Oh, this guy's so good that we're just gonna feed him forever.
Warriors surprised me.
Warriors should not be 0-2.
The lack of scoring, especially more than anything, because if
22
you
points
if you
a game
lost
so
a
far.
blowout to GHB, I'm down. I get it. I see it.
If you lose 44, 43, whatever, but their offense is just not good.
But they also haven't had Stefano Soleimani. But I
Yeah,
thought
still,
Michael
Michael's good.
Soleimani, the quarterback, was good enough that it didn't matter if he had all the
See,
pieces.
I see what you usually do. Like he's a good quarterback, but he needs his brother like desperately. If he doesn't have Stefano there,
It's not the same.
it's like you take away his go-to guy, and it's not just like if Stefano usually does about 80 to 100 yards per game for
Mhm.
them. If you take away that, well then
That's one touchdown right there, essentially.
that's 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
Well, minimum, right?
Oh yeah, but he's usually he gets 2 touchdowns by himself. Take away
Yeah.
those 2 touchdowns, and they barely score 18.
Voodoo, I'm surprised though.
Well, they don't have Philip Kotrbati. And
No.
Etienne
I'm
Vaillancourt
not.
is a guy who's excellent, but it helps to have a guy on his side to help create space for him.
Well, he goes right though.
Yeah.
Frank K does not look like himself.
Frank
Well,
K
and so I
coming off a
also
bad injury.
spoke to Frank K. He was right before our game actually, which we'll talk about
Mhm.
later. And for those listening, I pointed to myself and
No, we
Simone.
won't talk about it.
But I spoke to him and he's like, yeah, it's crazy. He says, I just don't feel like myself. I'm worried every time I step back. And he's like, I'm getting there. I'm just not there yet. And so I have no doubt Frank K will be better.
You know what I noticed with Frank A is when they had Pat Saint-Amand as a quarterback, Pat used to go. He used it's in Vaillancourt a lot, but he used all 5 receivers. Frank does not. He goes
But
to Pat.
he also
He
had
force feeds.
But he had
Force feeds
but he had
certain
Philip
players.
Kotrbati to play off because again that's
Yes, it's
a
I
ridiculous
agree with
talent
you,
to have
but-
on your team
but
who's
so does
not
Pat-
there anymore.
No, but
Agreed.
Saint-Amand's a receiver. Like he's a
Yeah.
monster receiver. But Frank, if the game's on the line, if it's 3rd down, it's always Pat. Pat gets the ball. And the problem is people know that now. People like I was watching a little bit of their first drives, and he
Mhm.
would go incompletes to Pat constantly. There's other guys on the team. Try someone else. Like distribute the ball a little more. But I feel like he's trying to get into a rhythm, and he's forcing it to Pat to get into that rhythm. And if it's not happening early,
Yeah.
then the game's kind of over for them.
Any of these teams you think can have a chance realistically at a playoff chance, or are they going to be
Warriors.
one of those bottom Warriors? You think
Warriors
Warriors, even with their offense being anemic right
Well, when Stefano returns, Peter Giannis on the defensive side, I think.
Are
I
they going to
think-
return?
Well,
Right.
Peter Giannis is following the Eagles on the road, I believe.
now? Yeah, he was
So,
there, I think, for the Falcons. Eagles
yeah.
game,
So he once he realizes their season's done,
This
then
Sunday.
So
then he-
2
This
weeks
Sunday. we'll see
So
you back.
February 4th.
then he'll return. And I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know about Stefano Soleimani, but he is on the roster. So
Might be too little, too late though. By the time they
well,
come
if it's
back.
like week 3, week 4, it's still early enough. But
But if it's next week, it's fine.
Yeah.
2-2, it's very decent. But I think Voodoo's going to bounce back. They're going to.
they also played one of their hardest games already against Greendale Human Beings.
It's true.
So that helps to have that game in week 2.
Speaking
Yep.
of Greendale Human Beings, if you had to pick
See what
one
I did
guy,
there? See
Brandon
what I did there?
Elward or Rob Allen Longhorns, who do you pick as your go-to guy? Both guys 3 INTs and have strong offensive statistics. Who's your guy right now?
You do one, I'll argue the other.
And
Okay.
what about GM? We'll get GM.
Well,
involved.
considering Rob Allen plays on my Division 3 team, I think it's a pretty obvious answer.
Yeah, Brandon
The
Elward.
wrong one.
So Brandon,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Look at disgust. Yeah, okay, idiots.
I'm going Rob Allen for Longhorns because the way you remember last fall season when was it fall or spring when Brendan was playing quarterback for them and they still managed to win and then
Mhm.
they came back and they had a playoff game where Brendan had 1 catch for 7 yards.
So what
and
you're
won.
saying is he won games even when he had to play quarterback.
No.
That sounds pretty important. To
No, what
the
I'm
team.
saying is Greendale Human Being has the next man up mentality where if Brandon's not playing well, the other guy, like Alex Joltopup's going to have 123 yards again. He's
but-
a key part to the team, but he's not essential.
The
I don't
thing
think
is-
Longhorns can win without Rob Allen.
I disagree. I think he's a
Cool.
huge because I have to because I said I would. But I honestly, Brandon Aylward, Danny Aylward plays the revolutionary 2.5 style offense.
2.5 better.
Yeah, 2.5 plus. Trent that was given down to by future Hall of Fame quarterback Joey Taylor.
Keep campaigning.
I will. I'm on the trail,
All right.
man. And the thing is that that system is based heavily on spacing and what he does is allows he allows you to push the field to stretch the field, and allows you to attack in an intermediate level. And
Did you
short.
notice that Brandon Elward is the Danny Elward of Joey Taylor's system?
Yes, absolutely. That's what he does. That's why Danny Aylward was so important to 2.5 times.
Yes,
Like, not that like there's games where absolutely he'll dominate, but there's games where he's dominant isn't even on the stat sheet because it opens up such a vast area for you to attack.
Oh yeah. Brandon is that.
So it's not
Off the
necessarily
top
him,
guy.
but that role is
agree.
important on that offense.
So you could replace that role with
No.
someone else.
because I said I
So-
wouldn't.
So Rob Allen.
In 5B, a team that a lot of scorekeepers are really impressed by, Team YS. They're 2-0.
I believe it's Team Yees.
Yeast.
I
Well,
don't
we'll call them YS. We'll call them YS.
Use. Team U's.
They won by an average of 12 points per game. You look at the roster: Pierre Massé, Sotomar Mazuri, who has, I believe, 11 TDs, no INT so
That's
far.
impressive.
That's very good.
Very
I wrote
nice
it.
uniforms.
It's impressive.
Very nice uniforms brought to you by Sportier, proud sponsor of the FPF league. Get your Sportier uniforms. If
We
you
have
want.
that ad already. You
I know.
don't
I'm
need
just
to-
letting you know. Live
He's
hit.
the worst.
It's called live hit, boys.
If you
Live
put it,
plug.
if you put it on the teleprompter, he will read it.
Yeah, live plug.
So we know what to do next week.
What's a live plug? When you look at Team YS,
Life plugs.
they look like a very good, athletic, confident team. They don't back down from the trash talking in a good way, and they think they can beat you in every single play. They're never discouraged at all early on or even finishing off teams when they have to.
But the resume is not there yet. I don't think.
No,
It'd
it's
be
early
two of the
though.
weaker
It's-
I think-
teams.
Yeah.
Like I think it'll be good, based on what we've seen. But we also need to see how they'll respond to playing tougher competition.
I think I agree with Peeze. I think they have the roster. They have the team's good, but let's wait for their schedule to get a bit tougher, and then we'll see how they really fare. 'Cause
3 of the last 4 games are against the Process, Ducks, and Les Affaires.
Which is a good test. for
I
them.
think that'll
That's
be
tough.
that'll be where we
But
see.
are they like the game changers though? Remember they came out of nowhere.
are they the
no
modern
one's-
day game changers?
Well, they are modern day, right? 'Cause game changers.
Hey, look, it's written right
It's in
here.
the script. Are they
Right
the
there.
modern day game changers?
But they came in
So
2014, right?
did you come up with like one metaphor and like let's
I
punch
told
this
you.
one in everywhere?
I thought you could tell when Mo didn't sleep.
But
Did
when
Game
you see
Changers
them,
really come out of nowhere when they went like 9-0-1?
Well,
no
that
one-
was
no
that
one-
was
no
the
one
first
who they
season
were-
though.
No one knew who they were in the first season, right? Just like with Team YS, right? No one knows who these guys are. New
That's fair.
team.
That's
we
fair.
assume they play tackle or some sort of recreational football.
Mokan, don't you ask players that sometimes?
Well, I haven't seen them yet on my
But,
field.
but you saw your uniform.
Some I was watching from field 2 onto field 3.
Yo, guy, come here.
Yo,
do it.
God, come over here. But
You did that 2 times. I was very ashamed next next to guy
when I do that too, did I do that too?
last season
With who?
with the A squad guys. You're like, yo, guy, come here. I want to talk.
And it has the names written down.
That's what I. No,
Mo classing it up as always.
The rich guy.
Because I said I'd read it. For your insurance needs, auto and home insurance, call Vadim Cherniak.
Did he pay for that ad? Tell,
will.
tell him he's getting an invoice.
there you go. No, don't tell him. Just send it to him.
But if you think of a realistic record for these guys at the end of the year, the 2-0, we're seeing that 6 can get you in the playoffs. So
2-0 is a
Yeah.
very good start because they
7-3
could.
maybe, or
they
7-3, 6-4. That's more or
You
less.
think
what I
they're going
said.
to lose 4
7-3 is
games
good.
the next?
They may because honestly, I think they can lose. Not they will. They can lose to the Process, Ducks, and Effort. I think
So
those games.
Finish
There is
500
enough
there.
parity in this
Yeah.
division for it. It's not like they're the clear-cut favorites. To,
Yeah.
to
No,
go
I
in.
agree.
No, that 100%. They're not the clear cut. But having a 2-0 start is very, very good. It gives you that nice little cushion there that you could flake out a few games. Even if you're still 2-3, you're still in there.
Yeah.
So you could lose the next 3 games and still be in a good spot.
Balls deep. Are they too dependent on Brandon Birch? Seeing these guys play, it feels like it's Birch and everyone else.
So you're saying it's shallow and not deep.
Yes.
Ball shallow.
Exactly.
Shallow balls.
Yeah, right now it's ball shallow because a third of the completions have gone to Brendan Birch.
But is it because he forces to him or is he the only one making plays?
Either way, it's not gonna work.
Because if he's the only one making plays, then somebody else needs to step up, and I'm not too worried about it. If he's
And
forcing
Justin
it,
Weir's the quarterback who's still in the football.
but if he's only forcing it to Brendan constantly, then their offense needs to change.
well, look at
and
the, look at
that's
the stats
worrisome.
though, right? Everyone else on the roster, I think, has a 17 receptions. He alone has 10.
He has 10. Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
is he because they're all dropping balls and then he's the only one catching them, or is he getting 50% of the targets?
But that's the thing, though, right? Don't you want to develop that second, third option to take off that
But
pressure
that's
from
Yeah,
Birch?
exactly
but Simon's saying maybe it's that the second and third option aren't making plays.
Are
So
they-
the
are
only
they good
guy.
enough, though?
It's not- I don't
mean,
think
we'll see.
It could be just like a bad game. Like the guy, like Peeze has had some bad games before where he drops a few balls. Doesn't mean he's a bad
Peeze
player.
is the leading passer in Div 6, man. How can he have a bad game?
Wink. For those of you who didn't see it because you're listening on the podcast. Wink.
PJs.
I love pajamas.
Hold on. Are we going to talk about Matt
You guys
Graves
are
at some
going to
point?
post your
Question.
children for informed journalism. I just
Mhm.
got to tell you.
Retired
Reform.
All-Stars.
Reform journalism.
Retired All-Stars, they're
What's
2-0.
journalism?
I love this team. Athletically, they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Would you say that they're sneaky good?
They're very sneaky good, actually. No one knows who they are that well. But when you look at this
I knew
team,
they were.
But like a lot of them
I talked
played
about
on
it preseason.
on Mos Haram, on
Harambe's
Harambe's disciples.
Yeah.
Like so we do recognize some of this team. I know that you couldn't believe that the guys from Harambe's disciples could be competitive and win
And
games.
somehow shoot themselves in the foot by having an ineligible player on the
I
roster.
mean, maybe with
Yes.
Harambe you shouldn't be talking
Plexico
about
Burris
shooting
of the NFL.
because or just a Harambe. Although he didn't shoot
So
himself.
they have a bunch of McGill guys too on this roster, university guys
Yeah.
who.
Yeah, no. The roster is stacked. It's a bunch of guys that used to play tackle together. I think it's just they
They
come
just
out
retired from tackle.
There you go. Ball retired.
Well, I think Browns de Boucherville, they resemble the Cleveland
Browns.
Browns.
Well,
They're not division.
They call themselves Browns of Boucherville.
but they're not a 5B team. They're 6.
What's worse? Do you think being in Cleveland or Boucherville?
There's no.
Well, no. In defense of Boucherville, at least you see Montreal. You can go to the city.
That's
of Montreal.
true.
There's not much to do. In
Well, I
Cleveland.
mean, I'm sure they have the internet in Cleveland. They can look up Montreal. Like this is what a better city looks like.
Do they have internet in Cleveland?
There's no guarantee actually.
I can't say.
Although I mean, LeBron tweets.
I think you still have to pay for the internet in the motels in
They don't have
Cleveland.
Wi-Fi in Cleveland, I don't think. But yeah, overall, look, I think this is a team we have to watch out for. The 2-0, and another tough division. They're in third place of their group right now. Like they got some tough games coming up down the road here where they will
But
face.
That's one of the reasons why I think they're going to be a good playoff team is because they're going to face these good teams in the regular season. They're
Tip-top
gonna,
shape coming up.
I
in
don't
2
think they're going to
weeks.
go undefeated. I think they're going to lose a few games, but they're going to learn the FPF experience throughout these losses and the wins. And by week 10, they're going to be one of the most dominant squad in the division.
Circle March 18th. Mogadishu Pirates retired All-Stars.
that'd be fun.
That could be for a high-end seed in the playoffs, and that's going to be a fun game to watch out for.
That should be fun. Good times. I like times.
Although I see Joe Cano still being hungover from St. Patrick's Day, so
But good quarterbacks play well on over.
it's true. Step it up.
But
Come on, Joe.
McRoley Jean-Marie, I always think of McRib when I see his name.
Man, McRibs.
That's
Speaking
the
of
only
Mc-
good question you've asked all day.
Well, is
Speaking
it
of
not?
McRibs,
Yeah.
We'll call him
Why
McRib,
is
right?
it not 100% time on the menu? Like,
Because
I would
it's-
want McRibs every week.
Here's a
Doesn't
business.
it worry you
because
that
It's a supply and demand thing.
mechanically separated from the bone?
You order the McRib and you eat it and you're like, oh, this is okay.
No.
And then you go a long time without having it, and then by the time you purchase it again when it's back in season, you
so
buy it. And
he
you're like,
goes-
oh, I haven't had that in so long, I should buy it again.
Yeah.
And
You
you
go,
buy it,
stop
you eat it,
agreeing
you're
with
like,
GM.
Yeah, that's why
It's-
I haven't bought
It's
it.
like
Supply-
that girl you hit it with between relationships.
I take McRibs, I throw away the bread, and I just enjoy myself.
Supply and
bread's not
demand,
good.
man.
So,
That's what it is.
you eat it like a Slim Jim kind of thing?
If
Sort
that's
of-
the case, why don't you just go to Subway and get the barbecue rib and
Isn't it the
throw
same?
away the bread?
Don't go to Arby's.
Is there an Arby's in Montreal?
We got so sick. No, it's halfway
But-
Toronto.
But you could
Oh.
do that at
Kingston.
Subway? You could get ribs at Subway? I didn't know that.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they still
serious?
have.
Yes, I'm very serious. I didn't
Yo,
know
you
that.
need to step up your snack.
Look,
game.
I-
we had A&W discussions last week.
Yes,
now
I need to work on my Subway.
barbecue rib, Subway. It's pretty much the same thing,
Yeah.
by the way.
Wow.
I
That's
I
what
will
I'm having
say-
tomorrow for lunch.
I will say though more seriously about McRodley Jean-Marie. It's no.
McRib, Jean-Marie.
He's not. He's a filet fish. He's
Really?
Yeah, he's not for everyone, but
There's
he's to
only
the
two a
discerning
night.
palate.
He
To the discerning
broke.
palate.
We all waited for like the definition of why he was like a fillet of fish, just in case it was offensive and no one wanted to agree.
It's a fillet of fish.
He's quick though, man. Like out of his breaks.
Yeah, just like a filet of fish. You order it, it's ready, it's in your car in no time.
He made
'cause
three
it's
guys look
unfrozen.
foolish on a run on Saturday in Brassard. So he has definitely the ability. We'll see what they do though.
What do you order?
Best receiver in 5B is who? One guy.
I'm going with Martin Jackson from Afro. People don't give credit, don't give love to snappers, but that guy can turn a game around so quickly.
And Matt Damon looks to him a lot.
Oh, but for sure, but he's so
Yeah.
good. Like, there's no reason not to
from
go
the
down.
same team though, a guy to look out for is Matsutsubua.
Yep.
Who
In
was
Division
leading yardage receiver this week. Michael. I confused like three names at once. William Power from Takeover. Perhaps biased
Hold
because I
on,
played
hold on,
with him.
Timo. Shocker! You take William Power.
I mean, he's already won Receiver of the Year.
I know,
and
but he's
been
your boy
runner-up.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But the
If
reason
I-
why is because he's good.
My unsung hero for this list is Gabriel Poisson. Not a lot of people know him.
Former McGill
Yeah,
player.
McFish?
Poisson is great.
McFish.
Didn't he play Montreal, not McGill?
I played University of McGill actually.
Yeah. But he's not a lot of people know him in FPF for some reason, but he's a great receiver.
he is
He played
absolutely.
with
Jordan Chartrand.
yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
I don't remember what they're called.
I don't remember, but
It was
of
a
the week,
pink
though.
team.
yeah, but they
Yeah,
he's
think.
a ridiculous player. He used to play in a hoodie to sweat more because
Doesn't make
it's a
sense.
better workout.
And it's not Andrew Grant.
That's what he used to tell me.
Andrew Grant, the Spartans. Just
Yep.
physically dominant player on a type of
Big
offense.
trash
that-
talker as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm down
That's
with it.
okay, as long as you back it up.
And Michael Kazaka, TDs and beer.
Yeah, good. GM.
So underrated receivers in 5B right now. I think underrated. I would go with Anthony Sigia. We always talk about how
Fair.
he's someone who isn't talked about
Is
a
it
lot.
Sigia?
Can you fix his mic for next week, please, Eagle?
Yes, Anthony, who isn't talked about a lot, but
Yeah.
puts up monster numbers. Rafael Ducalapalm as well. He hasn't seen a lot of looks with his team, but as there's a little bit more comfort there, and we see him have more games played, I wouldn't be surprised to see him with 15 TDs by the end of the season.
15.
Yep.
I'll hold
All
you
right,
account to
n-
that.
15 TDs. Okay, well, we'll see what that
He's at
plays
2
out.
right now,
Okay.
so
well,
that's 13 to go.
Great
With 8
math.
games to go.
Thank you, Jim.
I like the wink from GM.
Unlike Peeze, I don't need to describe when I'm winking.
All right.
Well, because again, it's audio
Yes.
format.
Pease, it is time for.
Games of the week.
All right, GM, here we go. 6 games to look at.
Retired All-Stars against Wrecking Crew. Both teams 2-1.
Retired All-Stars.
Retired
All
All-Stars.
the way.
Give me Wrecking Crew.
Cool.
I like that group.
You like the Red Cruise?
Spartans, Moss City.
Sparty coming off a big win over Black Knights.
So I'm going Moss City.
That's correct.
Honestly, I like Moss City's overall athleticism, but I think James DeAndrew is improving every week. Give me Spartans.
He is improving, but he's very up and down.
Loyola Warriors against the Process.
The process.
Warriors look competitive in Brossard on Saturday.
And they will not this week against the process. They're going to get blown up. 3 scores.
I agree with puzzles.
Make it a sweep.
So, and now in 5A,
All right.
Mavericks against Smokin' Axolots.
Give me Smoking Axolots to go 3-0.
Yeah, give me the Axles.
Yeah, give them the Water Lizards.
Mud Dogs against Greendale Human Beings. Do GHB continue their role?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
GHB.
Absolutely.
GHB's
Oh,
not
yeah.
losing to these.
Oh, yeah.
Mud Dogs don't look the same. So
No.
give me the Elwood Bros.
And Voodoo against Hurricane Season.
No. Good game.
I'm going to give Voodoo this victory.
See, I'm not. I'm going Hurricane season.
You know what? I'm going to agree with Mo. I think this is the kind of game Franke gets his footing right. I don't know if Voodoo will be a good team this season, but they're going to win 2 or 3 games. This is the kind of game they can win. A lot of information. There's a very short period of time.
Okay.
That's what those words were.
Match your words, please.
From the things of people and cities, we bring to you.
Good
Goodbye.
night in Boucherville.
Nice. The Cleveland of the North.